Ish. All right. Page 18. Actually, do you remember last week when on page 17 when you had to look for the 1? Right? We had to look for the 1 and the dot and then go over. And you had to tell me the unit rate based on where the dot was. It's very, very, hopefully easy for us. All right. So today we're going to be doing something extremely, extremely similar on page 18. On page 18. Page 18. But what's the difference between page 18 and the other ones? Well, let's talk about it. On page 18, I've asked you to look for the 1, right? I've asked you to look for the 1. But there is no 1. Do you see a 1 on the x? What's the smallest number on the x? 6. It's not a 1. It's terrible. So this first dot, not including the 0, 0. The 0, 0 doesn't really help us. It's this dot right here. Right? What's the ordered pair for this dot? What is this ordered pair? What is this ordered pair? What are the two numbers that make up that ordered pair? 6 and 18. Very good. Okay. So, given 6 and 18. Okay. 6 and 18. How do I find the unit rate given 6 and 18? What do I have to do with 6 and 18 to find the unit rate? What do I have to do? Divide. I walk over. For the period. Again. Okay, I have to divide. What number? So I have 6 and 18. What number goes inside? 18. What number goes outside? 6. All right, divide that. Divide that. What do you get when you divide that? 3. Okay, so what does 3 mean? So I got 3. What does 3 represent? Why should I care about 3? So my answer is 3. What will 3 represent? Your unit rate. Very good. So my unit rate is 3. This is my unit rate. Yay, we did it. What would be the equation? 3x. Very good. That means that if I had a 1 here, it would land on the 3. If I had the 1, it would land on the 3. That's what we solved for. When you divide, whatever your answer is, it's the 3. Okay, 1, 3. Now, pretty easy. I have to divide. Now I'm gonna introduce you to some very difficult vocabulary. I think you're ready for it. Let's look at the directions. Identify the constant of proportionality. Write your answer as y equals kx. What in the world do they mean by constant of proportionality? What do you think? Take a wild guess. What do you think the words constant of proportionality really means? What have we been solving for this whole time? Unit rate. So, you will see these fancy words. Constant of proportionality. And all it really means is unit rate. Write that down. Because you're going to see it on worksheets. You're going to see it on homework. You're going to see it on tests. These fancy words. Constant of proportionality. And all that really means is unit rate. But they make it harder by calling it constant of proportionality. It just means unit rate. Should I throw this in as a spelling word? No. How many letters is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 letters in proportionality. Constant of proportionality. Unit rate. All right. Let's look at number 2. Find the 1. There is no 1. So I'm sad because there's no 1. So you pick a point. Can you pick any point? Yeah. Just don't pick 0, 0. Which point do you guys want to choose? 5 and 45. So this point right here. That point right there is made up of 5, 45. So I take this point and I divide. I take that point and I divide. So go ahead and divide. Write it down, Yaneli, and we're going to divide. We're going to divide. 45 divided by 5. Very good. Well, what does that 9 mean, though? It's the unit ring. It's the constant of proportion. Exactly, Miss Heather. It's fancy words. It's the constant of proportionality. All right, so what would be my equation, knowing that it's 9?
Y equals 9.
Very good. Write that down before I get up there. So your answers are going to be in the form of an equation. Your answers are going to be in the form of an equation. So you find the unit rate. My unit rate is 9. Yay. So what would be my equation? Y equals 9x. That's the answer when I call on you that I would need you to reply with. And the first one was y equals 3x. All right, I'm going to give you guys about maybe 5 minutes. Finish this. Set timer for 5 minutes. And then we'll continue with some other stuff that we got to do today. All right, so we're on page 21. Okay, what I would like you to do, graph it, and then we'll actually reverse that. Can you pass out the rulers? Because you need a straight line. So pass back the rulers. Camila just passed back 2, right? We just need 2. All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it. All right, so let's graph it. Graph it. You're going to need to know how to graph in 8th grade and in high school. So go ahead and show us that you can graph before I do. Go. These are your ordered pairs. So Adam, you're graphing it on page 21 before I do. Graphing before we do. You're going to have to graph. Not all of them fit. One. All right. Does 6 fit? Nope. So you skip it. Skip the one that doesn't fit. They go out of order, right? Because they don't always give you the table in order. So you graph it. You will be graphing. 6 does not fit, so don't graph it. 612 does not fit. So you skip it. All right. Take your ruler. Take your ruler and connect the dots. Connect the dots with your ruler. Okay. I forgot to read the question. Terrible. The table below shows the relationship between cost of renting a movie to the number of days. So if I rent it for 2 days, it costs $4. If I rent it for 5 days, $10. If I rent it for 1 day, it only costs me $2. Okay? What does X represent in my story? Days. Right here, right? Good job. Days. What does this represent? Your Y's? Money. Okay? So if I rent it for 0 days, $0. 1 day, $2. 2 days, $4, right? So what is my unit rate, otherwise known as constant of proportionality? What would be my unit rate? My unit rate is where the 1 is, right? Where this dot is. And what did I multiply all these numbers by? What's that magical number? It's 2. What did you multiply this by? 2. Are all of these numbers multiplied by 2? Yes. Is 1 2? Yes. So my unit rate is 2. All right. What is the equation? Write it down. While I turn on the AC. So, careful. I'm hot. You're all hot. It's going to be 68 degrees. It's fine. unit rate would just be 2, period. Then this would go here. K is unit rate. There's like 5,000 ways to say unit rate in math. Unit rate is 6th grade, and then we call it constant or proportionality in 7th grade. But I didn't want to tell you that in day 1 because that might have been like too much for you. Like, this is too scary. Constant and proportionality. I don't get it, and it's gonna be too hard. But today, since you're pros at this, constant and proportionality is cool now. Should be easy. Might not be for everyone, but it is. All right, we're good? All right, let's do the same thing for the bottom one. First thing, graph it. First thing is graphing it. Some of you were. So first thing is graph. Graph it before I do. Can I graph the 9? Nope. Okay. Use your ruler. Oh, I forgot to read the question again. Daniel sold candy bars to help raise money for band. The table shows the amount of candy he sold to the money he received. So if he sold 1 pound of candy, he received $5. If he received, if he sold 3 pounds, he would get $15, and so on and so forth. All right. So what is X? X is pounds. I can just read it off my table. And Y is money. What is my unit rate for this problem? What is my unit rate? 5. What would be my equation? Very good. Now, do I see 5 everywhere? I sure do. Right here's the 1. Here's the 5. It's right here. 1, 5. And then all of these are multiplied by 5. So 5 is my unit rate. 5 appears everywhere. In the dot, in the table, all of these are multiplied by 5. In my equation, 5 is that magical number. We're good? All right. I think you're ready. Let's move on to some not so hard stuff. Okay. We're learning a lot today. We're learning a lot today. The next page. Next week is geometry. Yep. Okay.
I thought we were already learning geometry.
We already did with circles, and now we gotta do triangles and angles
Oh my god.
and 3D shapes.
Don't we do that in high school?
We do. You're gonna do this in high school. This you get to do in high school. Will it become a little bit harder? Yes. All right. The next page, Bianca. Now, Priscilla, the question says, is there a proportional relationship? Question mark. Meaning there will some questions will not be proportional. It's proportional means that there's a unit rate. That means that our graphs are nice and straight.
What's origin?
What is origin? Does anybody know what origin means? This word right here?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
It's the 0.
1 0?
No, with 2 zeros on the y.
Yeah. It's a 0 0. So origin, it's a 0 0, Brandon. Origin is a 0 0 on the graph. Does everybody know where 0 0 is on the graph? Yeah, so the question is, does the graph go through the origin? Does it go through 0 0? And is it a straight line? All right, so let's graph it first. Obviously, we have to graph first. So go ahead and graph 1 2, 2 4, 3 6, 4 8, 6 12. So we're graphing it. Go ahead and graph it. That's what we get to do in high school. So we're graphing it. Okay, use your ruler. Because I got to make sure, do they connect as a straight line? So put your ruler. Do all of these dots connect on a straight line? And make your line longer. I know it kind of looked, Chris. I also, when I plot them, I'm like, oh my, I don't think they make a straight line. Did I make a mistake? But when I lined it up, it did. But that last dot kind of messes with the eyes a little. All right. A lot. Okay. Answer these two questions. The graph goes through the origin. Does it go through 0, 0? Does it go through 0, 0?
Yeah.
Yes. So we're going to put a check mark. If your line doesn't, extend the line. Okay. Is it a straight line? Are all of these dots in a straight line, Brandon? Yes. All right. So, if you've answered yes to both, you have to answer yes to both questions. Then it is proportional. So, if you've answered yes to both questions, it is proportional. Yay, it's proportional. Why is it proportional? It's a straight line and it goes through the origin. Which means, what's the equation? Nice. Y equals 2x. Why did she say 2? Because you're times 2ing. You're times 2ing. That's a great question. So, times 2, times 2, times 2, times 2, and then 1, 2. So on Friday's quiz, if you can identify that it's 2, and you can tell me that, that's points right there. And I won't make it super difficult. The whole page? I'll check it in a second. All right. Can you start graphing the bottom one while I check Brandon's? So graph it, and then answer the two questions. Three. Graph it. Come on, you need to have that for eighth grade and high school. And your lunch. It's 1, 3, 2, 1. Graph it, graph it. So, yes, no, check mark. No, yes. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it ugly?
Yeah.
1, 3, 2, 6, 5, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So let me connect these beautiful dots. So I connected them. Does it go through the origin? I mean, you could say yes. You can say no. Like, you can make this dot and then 0, 0, right? You could make it go through the origin. Or I just followed this angle and it missed the 0, 0. So the origin, it's up to you if you want to say yes or no. I'm going to go with no. But if you said yes, I understand why. Because why? Why doesn't that matter? Well, the second question, is it a straight line? No. Right there, you know. As soon as one of them is a no, as soon as either it's not a straight line, which is pretty obvious, right? When you're plotting this, you're like, this is not a straight line. You know immediately it's a no. So I know it's not proportional because it's not a straight line. So guess what? There is no equation. There is no unit rate. Okay? Why do I say no equation? Why do I say no unit rate? Because the line's all funky. Line's all weird. So there's no equation and there's no unit rate. There's no equation and there's no unit rate. It's a sad day. Sad day. That's why it's rainy. All right. Can you guys do page 23, the bottom one? Page 23, the bottom one, right now. Okay, so page 23. Adam, are you finished with page 23? The bottom one. Okay. Does the graph go through the origin, yes or no? Maybe. It depends. Maybe. Some of you might say yes, some of you might say no. I understand both answers. But B, there's only one right answer for B. Is it a straight line?
Yes.
No. So, is it proportional? No. So, can you write an equation? No. Is there a unit rate? No. All right. So, now let's look at the top one, number 3. Can you graph this point and this point? Can you graph those 2 points, please? Why did I ask you to graph those 2 points? Those are the ones that don't have decimal. All right. Can you connect those 2 points and 0, 0? Can you connect those 2 points and 0, 0? With the ruler, connect those 2 points and 0, 0, the origin. So, plot the 2 points I highlighted. On page 23, not on page 24. So those answers, erase them on page 24. All right. What do you guys think? Proportional or not? Yes or no? 1, 4, 3, 12, and 0, 0. And I asked you just to connect this, right? Now, where would 0.52 be? Is it going to be on the line we drew? 0.5 would be right there. Up to 2. Does it hit my line? Yeah, it does. Does it hit your line? 0.5, 2. So 0.5, that right there would be 0.5. Right there would be 0.5. Does my line hit it at the 2? Yeah? 1.5. Where would 1.5 be? Between the 1 and the 2. So here would be 1.5. 1.5, go up to 6. Do I hit my red line? Yeah, I do. And then the last one, 2.5, 10. 2.5 all the way to 10. My goodness. I did a fantastic job graphing. Did you guys do such a great job as your teacher did? Is your line, or maybe it was the ruler. I don't know. Find 0.5, find 1.5, find 2.5. Can you hit the line? Are you as good as your teacher? Okay. Does the graph go through the origin? Yes, I made it. I told you 0, 0. Is it a straight line? Yes. So is it proportional?
Yes.
Yes. So that means, what is your unit rate? No, it's not 10. It's not 10. What is it?
I mean, y equals 1?
Yeah. Wait.
Wait,
Four.
4x.
Yeah. Y equals 4x. Why? Because if you look at the 1, what's the 1 give you? It gives you a 4. That was a lot. That was a lot. Whew. All right. Well, your assignment today is page 24. You're going to upload page 24. You have exactly 10 minutes to do 2 problems. Set timer for 5 minutes.
Can I go in for a segment?
Do the first one on your own and get it right. Both of you. You do number 1, you do number 1 correctly. So I set my timer for 5 minutes. You should be done with the first one in 5 minutes. And that gives you another 5 minutes for the second one. Graph it first. First job is graphing it.
There's nothing there.
Oh.
It's fine.
It should be on my, no, this page. Oh, wait, no, it's not. Because they also did it on their own.
It's fine. I can figure it out.
Let's see. Let me figure it out, too. Oh, this one's a...
Okay.
Well, my first period did this. And then I'm like, no, If it's a no, then it's a no.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is
Okay.
which they might have a hard time, but then it's
I'm
like,
pretty sure I could figure it out.
yeah. We might have to remind them to do that. With the calculator is fine.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go back.
This one, right?
Yes.